All right, joining us now, Tesla shareholder Bryn Talkington of Requisite Capital Management, also a CNBC contributor. It's good to see you. So Musk makes it clear to David that he doesn't care. Do you care?
Well, I mean, I've seen the movie. I think David missed the point. I think viewers. So what he was saying, because in the movie, it's all about staying convicted to one's personal beliefs. And I think that, as we've all seen, Elon cares a tremendous amount about free speech. He uses free speech, and he thinks Twitter should be a platform for free speech. And he felt so strongly about that, he had to sell millions of shares to buy it. And so what he's saying is that I'm willing to sacrifice personal and economic gains in order to protect my own personal beliefs that I believe so heartily in. That being said, he also believes in making money, and that's why he hired an expert in advertising, which would be Linda. And so I don't think it's not that he cares. It's that he does care so much about his strong viewpoints about free speech.
Sure, but I mean, look, in fair, I don't think David missed the point at all. And that's all fine and good, what you say and what Musk himself suggests, but he still is the CEO of a publicly traded company in which you are an investor and have to decide whether that is bothersome to you, whether you think it's a distraction to you or to the share price, to the direction of the company, or frankly, anything else.
I don't think that in aggregate, Tesla shareholders were or have been concerned by him expressing his opinion. I think what happened last year is when, he says maybe in jest, I'm going to buy Twitter, and then he actually has to buy Twitter. And then the issue is like, what's going to happen? Is this going to be a drawn out court case? How much Tesla shares is he going to have to sell? And that is really why you saw such a massive decline. But the stock bottomed out at 110, got as high as 200, and then now has settled in. And so I think he's proven to everyone he can walk and chew gum at the same time. He's running about 5 different companies, and he has a great team underneath him. So I don't think that in aggregate, Tesla shareholders would say him tweeting is a distraction to what he's been able to just do globally across all these different companies that he's running.
And you don't care, I mean, because, I think we can honestly say, I mean, CEOs expressing political beliefs, for example, I'm not sure has ever been as under fire as it appears to be now in some corners of the political space, and whether it's a couple corners, some on the left and some on the right. So do you not have an issue with anything that the CEO of a company that you invest in ostensibly could tweet about?
Well, of course, of course, there's a moral high ground in a way you want certain CEOs to act. But Elon is not just a CEO. He created these companies, right? So, I mean, he took Tesla, which was not doing well back in the early 2000s, took over and has made it into probably one of the most important companies in the world. And so I think you have to separate a founder CEO that's so rare, like Elon, which is like a Steve Jobs, which is like a Thomas Edison, from just some person that's sitting as a CEO that is not the founder of a company. But once again, Elon is a lightning rod. He is a brilliant, opinionated person that just speaks his mind. And so clearly that will get into the crosshairs of many people. But to me, in general, I think he's an important person, and it's a very important company that we have in America. And so I'm, very pro Tesla, very pro Elon in terms of what he's been able to accomplish in such a short amount of time across so many different important companies.